Today, I want to talk about something profound, something that may just change the way you see yourself. Have you ever felt different, as if you were meant for something more? Have you ever found yourself drawn to helping others, even when there was no reward? What if I told you that some people walk among us as angels in disguise, carrying out divine work without even realizing it? Throughout history, angels have been described as messengers of God, guiding and protecting humanity. But what if angels are not just celestial beings with wings, but also souls in human form, placed here to shine light in the darkest places? Today, we will uncover the 7 signs that may reveal you are one of them. You have an unshakable sense of purpose. Deep within you, there is a calling, something that refuses to be ignored. While others may drift through life unsure of their path, you have always felt an inner pull, a reason for being that cannot be shaken by doubt or external influences. It is as if you were sent here with a mission, even if you do not yet fully understand. From a young age, you may have noticed that certain things stir your soul more than they do for others. Perhaps it is the sight of suffering that moves you to action, or an overwhelming desire to bring peace and healing to those around you. Unlike many who chase material success or fleeting pleasures, you are guided by something far deeper, an inner knowing that your existence is meant to serve a greater good. This unshakable sense of purpose often manifests in how you navigate life. You may find that when you stray from your calling, things feel off, as if you are walking against the current. But when you align yourself with what feels right, when you are helping, healing, or guiding others, everything flows effortlessly. It is as if the universe itself supports your actions, opening doors and bringing the right people into your life at just the right moment. One defining trait of those with an unshakable purpose is the ability to persevere despite obstacles. You do not give up easily because you understand that your work is not just about personal gain. It is about fulfilling something larger than yourself. While others may be easily discouraged by failure, you see setbacks as lessons, as divine guidance redirecting you toward where you are truly needed. This sense of purpose is not always easy to carry. At times it may feel like a burden, especially when the world does not seem to understand your path. You may feel isolated, questioning why you care so deeply when others seem indifferent. But deep down, you know that giving up is not an option. There is a light inside you that refuses to be dimmed, no matter how difficult the journey becomes. You might also notice that your purpose is not something you chose. It chose you. Even when you try to ignore it, it finds a way back into your life, calling you to step up and embrace it fully. It may come in the form of people who need your help, unexpected opportunities that push you towards service, or even challenges that force you to grow into the person you were meant to be. People around you might not always understand this drive, and you may find yourself explaining why you care so much, why you work so tirelessly, or why you dedicate yourself to causes that seem thankless. But you do not need external validation because your purpose is written on your soul, not in the opinions of others. At times, this deep sense of mission might make you feel out of place in the world. You see things differently, feel things more deeply, and are often moved to act when others remain passive. But instead of seeing this as a weakness, recognize it as proof that you are here for something greater. You are not meant to blend in, you are meant to stand out, to be a source of light in a world that often feels lost in darkness. People who carry this sense of purpose often find themselves drawn to certain roles in life. Healers, teachers, counselors, or protectors. Whether you are guiding others through wisdom, offering comfort in times of pain, or simply being the kind of person who lifts others up, your presence has an undeniable impact. Even in small, unnoticed ways, you change lives simply by being who you are. This inner calling also brings with it an intuitive sense of direction. You may find that you instinctively know what needs to be done, even before others see the problem. It is not arrogance, it is divine guidance working through you. You may feel an unexplainable certainty when making decisions, as if something beyond yourself is whispering the answers you need to hear. You might not always see the full picture of your purpose, and that is okay. Being an angel in disguise does not mean you have all the answers. It means you trust the path, even when it is unclear. You are here for a reason, and as you continue to walk this journey, that reason will reveal itself more and more. You feel others' pain as if it were your own. One of the strongest signs that you are an angel in disguise is your deep sense of empathy. You do not just understand what others are going through, you feel it. Their sorrow weighs on your heart, their joy lifts your spirit, and their struggles become your own. This connection to others is not something you can turn off. It is an intrinsic part of who you are. From a young age, you may have noticed that you were more sensitive than those around you. While others could witness suffering and move on, you carried it with you, unable to ignore the pain in another person's eyes. Whether it was a stranger on the street, a friend going through hardship, or even an animal in distress, your heart ached for them in a way that others could not understand. This deep empathy often makes you a source of comfort for those in need. People are drawn to you when they are struggling because they sense that you truly care. They may open up to you about their deepest fears and pains, even if they barely know you. And because you can feel their emotions as if they were your own, you always seem to know the right words to say or the right action to take to help them feel less alone. However, carrying the emotions of others is not always easy. At times it can be overwhelming. You might find yourself feeling exhausted after being around too many people, as if you have absorbed all their emotions without realizing it. Crowded places, especially where pain or sadness lingers, might drain you in ways that others do not experience. You may even cry for people you have never met, moved by stories of hardship and suffering that others can ignore. Despite the weight of this empathy, you never let it harden you. If anything, it makes you even more determined to be a force for good. While others may choose to turn away from suffering because it is too difficult to bear, you face it head-on, doing whatever you can to ease the pain of those around you. Whether through small acts of kindness or larger efforts to bring change, you refuse to let suffering go unnoticed. Your ability to feel others' emotions also allows you to see beyond the surface. People often admire your strength but do not always see what it took to get there. They may think you are naturally wise, calm, and understanding, without realizing that your wisdom was earned through pain. But deep down, you know that every hardship you have faced was not just a challenge, it was preparation. Every struggle has molded you into the person you are today, someone capable of guiding others through their darkest times. You may notice that you are often placed in situations where your past experiences allow you to help someone else. A conversation with a struggling friend reveals that they are going through something you once endured. A stranger you meet is facing the same battle you once fought. Time and time again, your hardships become a bridge that connects you to those in need, allowing you to offer words, support, or simply the reassurance that they are not alone. Your survival is not just about you. It is about the lives you are meant to touch. Every difficulty you have faced has prepared you for a greater mission. You are not just someone who has overcome hardships, you are someone who transforms them into wisdom, love, and healing for others. And that is the mark of an angel in disguise. You often feel like you don't belong in this world. There is a quiet loneliness that follows you, even when you are surrounded by people. You may have spent much of your life feeling different, as if you do not quite fit into the world around you. While others seem content with the way things are, you have always sensed that something is missing, that life should be deeper, more meaningful, more connected. This feeling of not belonging is not a flaw. It is a sign that you are an angel in disguise. From childhood, you may have felt out of place, as if you saw the world through a different lens than those around you. Perhaps you were more sensitive, more intuitive, more aware of things that others ignored. You noticed beauty where others saw nothing. You felt emotions more intensely than those around you. You questioned things that others simply accepted. While others were caught up in everyday life, you were always searching for something more. This sense of not belonging is often strongest in moments when you witness the harshness of the world. Cruelty, selfishness, and indifference feel unbearable to you. You struggle to understand how people can be so unkind, how they can turn away from suffering, how they can live without seeking something greater. You may often feel like an outsider, longing for a world that is gentler, more compassionate, more aligned with the love you carry in your heart. Because of this, you may find it hard to connect with others on a deep level. Small talk feels empty to you. Superficial conversations drain you. You crave depth, honesty, and meaning. But in a world that often prioritizes the surface over the soul, you may feel like you are searching for something that few others understand. At times, this can be a painful experience. You may wonder why you feel so different, why you struggle to feel truly at home in the world, but deep down, you know that this feeling is not meant to isolate you. It is meant to remind you of who you are. You are not here to blend in. You are not here to follow the crowd. You are here to bring something different into the world. Kindness where there is cruelty, light where there is darkness, love where there is indifference. You may never feel like you fully belong, but that is because your spirit is not meant to be confined by this world's limitations. You are here to inspire, to uplift, to guide. Your sense of being different is not a curse. It is proof that you were made for something greater. And though you may feel alone at times, the truth is that your presence in this world is a gift, a reminder that angels do walk among us, even in disguise. You have an unshakable desire to help others, even at your own expense. No matter what happens in your life, one thing remains constant. You always feel the need to help others. It is not just a passing thought or an occasional act of kindness. It is a deep, unshakable force within you. Even when you are exhausted, even when you have your own struggles, even when helping means sacrificing your own comfort, you cannot turn away from someone in need. This is one of the clearest signs that you are an angel in disguise. Your compassion is not selective. You do not help others for recognition or reward. You do it because it is part of who you are. Whether it is a close friend, a stranger on the street, or even someone who has wronged you, you feel compelled to offer support. You cannot stand to see suffering and do nothing. You instinctively put others before yourself, sometimes without even realizing it. This selflessness can take many forms. It might mean offering a listening ear when someone is in pain, even though you are struggling yourself. It could mean giving away your last bit of energy, time, or resources to ensure that someone else does not have to suffer. It might even mean standing up for someone who cannot defend themselves, even when it comes at a personal cost. No matter the situation, your first instinct is always to give, to heal, to help. However, this intense desire to help can also be one of your greatest challenges. Because you put others first so often, you may neglect your own well-being. You might find yourself emotionally drained, physically exhausted, or carrying burdens that are not your own. At times, you may feel unappreciated, as if your kindness is taken for granted. And yet, no matter how many times you feel this way, you cannot bring yourself to stop helping. It is simply who you are. This selflessness is not weakness, it is a divine gift. While the world teaches people to look out for themselves first, you operate differently. You see the value in kindness, the power in giving, the beauty in lifting others up. Your presence is a blessing to those around you, even if they do not always. But even angels must rest. Even those who carry light must take time to recharge. Being an angel in disguise does not mean giving until you have nothing left. It means learning how to balance your giving with self-care. Because your mission is not just to help others, but to ensure that your light continues to shine for as long as possible. No matter what you face, your heart remains unchanged. You are someone who brings love into a world that desperately needs it, and whether you realize it or not, your selflessness is proof that you are here for a greater purpose, one that continues to touch lives in ways you may never fully see.